Today is pretty overcast and the light is always changing. Now there's not a lot of light, but still the light is coming from this side, creating some sort of a dynamic contrast here in this scene. I placed myself purposely to have this lamppost right in the middle in the sky, not mixing with any of the building or the bridge here on the left side, and managed to get a frame where people were walking towards me here on the left, where it's a bit more lit but creates nice subject separation, and I think it works. I already photographed this spot in the past, but I wanted to come back here to further explain why I love this kind of spot. You see, as soon as there's a few stairs to climb, you can totally change the perspective. I love being a little bit higher. A few more things that makes this composition interesting. One is that this surface here is quite sleek, so it makes a little reflection of what's there in the background. But two, you see, what we are shooting is pretty well lit and bright. We are in a darker area, and the surface on all these walls is also pretty dark, creating a lot of contrast and making this area pretty obvious for a subject to walk in. Ideally only one subject and you have your shot. I really like this vintage looking car. I really like the color, and obviously that's the central point of focus in this frame, but could be nice if someone is walking here at the intersection to fill up the frame a little bit more, because otherwise it's a bit empty. You see now I'm just missing in one, but yeah, we'll wait a bit and try to get the shot. Kinda like the texture on this electric pole. So what I'm doing here is I use a high aperture f11. I focus on the pole because I want that texture, and here I'm waiting for someone to come into the frame, and in that case, because I'm focusing on the pole, the subject will be kind of blurry, but with the high aperture it still is recognizable, and that's the look I'm going for in this one. First time I see these trees, I like it because it looks quite new, and there's these green things on both sides of the road. I have this red sign here on the left that pairs well with the green. It's not really complementary, but you also have the yellow thing there, so it's pretty colorful, and I like the shape of the road. Just waiting now for someone to be walking or driving a scooter here in the middle of the road, and yeah, that's it. I'm just taking a minute now to thank today's video sponsor, CleanMyMac X, the best tool to make your Mac run as good as new. A Mac computer is an incredible piece of tech supposed to stay sharp and run flawlessly for years, but that is attainable only if you take good care of it using CleanMyMac X. Buying a new Mac every couple of years is definitely not the solution, and your financial situation will also take a toll if you do so. As a Mac user, you must have seen this dreadful rainbow spinning wheel many times, especially us photographers always juggling between Lightroom, Photoshop and maybe other software. CleanMyMac X is here to solve almost any problem you could have with a Mac, making it feel younger than ever. You will see that rainbow spinning wheel a lot less, which is a fantastic news. Using CleanMyMac X, you can free up some space on the disk, make your Mac faster without freeze-ups, protect yourself from malware, monitor the performance in real time, and a lot more. You can go deep into your Mac, finding the large unnecessary files or cache storage that makes it slower, but the best thing with CleanMyMac X is the simplicity of the Smart Scan. In one click, you can start this automated cleanup script, and within seconds you will already have a cleaner, protected and faster Mac. Sometimes I question myself whether I really want to install that app I heard about, not really because I think I will not use it, but more so because if I want to uninstall it, I will have a hard time and some little files will stay dormant in the disk even after I remove the app. The uninstaller tool in CleanMyMac X removes apps completely, including all traces and tiny app parts on the drive. Maintenance is also here to help you better manage the RAM usage, making your Mac more polished and faster for the task you really
really want to work it on. That's especially useful for us photographers if suddenly Lightroom is getting really slow. We can check if any other software is running and using a lot of the RAM. There is so much features in CleanMyMac X that I could talk a lot longer about it, but the most important conclusion point is that it is an award-winning and notarized by Apple Cleaner app. So you can safely click on the first link in the description to make your Mac as fast as it can be. You can also use Adrian 10 for 10% off on your plan. So thanks a lot CleanMyMac for sponsoring this video, and now let's get back to it.
Quite like the look of this car here, and with a 50mm I can compose something vertical where it's not really the light hitting, but it's more like a reflection of a brighter area on the right side behind these walls. And yeah, just capturing this little section with a reflection makes it quite abstract and very interesting.
Just to pay for the grocery.
The tide is low now, so it created these interesting patterns in the river. And with the 50 it's good because it's tight enough to end up with something very abstract, having some sort of a pattern follow. It's a few days later and I'm now on my bicycle, randomly cycling around town, and still have the 50mm on my camera, and I saw these clouds, nice and beautiful summer clouds behind those buildings in the background, and I underexposed a little bit to have my shot exposed for these clouds, which is the bright part of this frame, and I composed something vertically, and ideally we can have someone also walking around there, and it must be quite good.
And now I'm never alone. No, I'm never.
Again, I like the silhouette of these two buildings here with this quite strange clouds that looks like a big wave. Pretty dark too here. It looks almost like we took a long exposure shot of a cloud formation moving, which is not the case, and that makes for a beautiful kind of flowing picture. First here I noticed this blue wall with this arrow pointing on the right side with this electric pole. I thought that this could be just a simple frame with someone walking around here, but then I walked a little bit away from it and I noticed this other arrow. I thought it could be interesting to have a composition with both arrows pointing to the right direction with actually someone walking towards left. It would be a bit funny, I guess, and also at 50mm it makes quite an aesthetic pleasing photo. So yeah, that's the reasoning behind this photo. Kind of like this restaurant entrance. If I move away from it enough, even at 50mm I can incorporate everything, including the lamppost that helps framing the shot, I guess. And I was lucky someone was walking down here. Some transportation people with a little trolley with some parcel to deliver, and yeah, I think that works quite well. Here I simply like the font of this thing, like written on this building, and of course like the light is nicely hitting that little part of the building. It's a bit difficult to compose with this electric pole right in the middle. I tried both vertical and horizontal, trying to incorporate the subject both here or maybe there, or just focusing on this part. But honestly, I will find out on the computer which one works best and probably show a few versions of this shot. Now I just got closer and I didn't realize before, but this kanji means light. It's hikari in Japanese, so maybe it's a bit hard to understand for everyone, but this picture, like I just took a close-up on this, has a lot of meaning to it, because this is the only character out of all these 5 characters that is hit by the light, and it is the character that means light. So from today I started experimenting with this cheap kit lens, but I'm completing this 50mm video, so I stick it at 50mm today, and luckily it's quite cheaply made, so it's pretty hard to and stiff to turn around. So once you're set at 50, you have no risk of it moving by itself. I am very drawn to compose vertically when shooting 50mm or anything above that. Here I like how the light is hitting this kind of interesting looking building, and the sky behind is quite interesting. I love when there is a little bit of complexity in the sky with these scattered clouds, but not too much of it. Yeah, oh, with the cola. No, I thought with the Coca-Cola truck it would look good, but actually didn't enter in the frame and we couldn't really see the color, but just by itself looks pretty decent.
Love these beautiful Japanese pine trees. Try to take it more like a silhouette shot of it. Not really a silhouette because it's quite heavenly lit, so yeah, not silhouette but with a clear background, let's say.
It's pretty interesting because you have this little tree hit by the light, and you have to choose because there is the roof, the tip of the roof ending here, and if you stand just like I'm holding the Osmo Pocket tree now, you can have almost like one single line going down, or if you go lower you can have a second tip, which could look quite interesting. But if you go too low, then you have this little bit here that doesn't look very good, so either here or aligning everything works well. Found a nice spot to look on this series of little bridge, and light is a little bit gone now, but should come back, and it looks great because the bridges are like, the ground is pretty bright, almost white, and everything around is green, which is darker. And not only that, there is like this whole part is in the shadow. There the trees are also not very lit by the light, so it creates a nice contrast. And if I'm lucky, someone will come with the light, because now the light came back, have a nice contrast, but no one. Will be hard to synchronize both elements, but yeah, I'll wait here a couple of minutes.